Welcome back to Digi Bros, Dark Souls, yeah,
What's going on?
yeah. You know what's weird?
Yeah.
Working on a series that's long that we know has not come out yet.
Yeah. I mean, we've been doing that the whole time.
For Dark Souls, you mean?
Well, for Zelda too.
Well, they've been coming out for a long time.
Yeah, but for a while it was without it coming out.
I guess.
When it was still Sonic was running.
Yeah. I keep dude, Sonic feels so long ago that I legitimately keep forgetting we did Sonic.
Yeah, and it was the best one, the first one.
Yeah, I legit
keep
forgetting that was
height,
a thing.
the height of what these videos will ever be.
Well, it just felt like Zelda went forever.
The initial draw, and now we'll be making stupid shit forever.
Yeah, they really haven't necessarily
it will never
ever
reach that
better.
height again because that game is perfect.
I don't know.
It's the stupidest thing in the world.
I really like the Star Fox videos for
Uh-huh.
both 64 and Assault.
I've really been watching them.
And
I forgot you did both of those games. There's gonna be a fuckload of those.
We just did a recording of Crash Bandicoot, which is going to be the absolute worst thing anyone's. That's going to come out alongside Dark Souls, probably.
Oh God!
So
that's gonna be a nightmare.
You get to enjoy Crash Bandicoot and
Two
fucking
of
Dark
the hardest
Souls.
games.
Yeah.
I would say that game is much harder than this, though.
Yeah, in a way. In a way. Crash Bandicoot's a game that
fucks you harder.
It doesn't seem like it should be hard, but it is very hard. But what makes Crash Bandicoot, the game's short though. It's only 5.5 hours long.
Yeah.
Even if you suck total ass at it.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Well,
mean,
you guys were also save
Right, true.
scrubbing the whole time.
It's scumming. You keep saying scrumming.
I don't know what it fucking is. Scumming. I don't give a shit. I don't words.
So,
Twinkling
Vic,
hit tonight.
What's going on, bro?
Oh man, all right. I had something to talk about. Today we went to this music festival.
Yeah.
Because I was shooting a video for the travel company that I've been talking about. A Vizio, yes. And so today I was editing the new video, and I'm sitting with Brandon, and he was like, "What does the travel company do?" And I was like, I really don't know like extensively what they actually do. And so I was like, let's go to their website and find out. And like, I had seen some tabs on their website for like hotels and services and stuff like that, and I just assumed that it was for like booking hotels or whatever. They're supposed to be a travel thing, so they must be helping people travel here. And then as I'm searching around, when you click hotels, it's just like a video of a guy doing a tour of a hotel. And then I'm clicking around, all they do is videos.
Right.
All they do is they say it's video reviews of stuff around here. This is literally all they do. And then I realize I am the only one producing content for them right now. I have produced all these videos for them in the last couple weeks, and I'm the only one doing anything.
So
and then
you
I'm
basically
like, wait a minute.
are Yaloha.com.
Yes, I am Yaloha.com, and I'm getting paid shit. And then I'm like, first of all, where are they making money? Because anytime I show up to these locations, they don't know that I'm coming.
Right.
So it's not like they're paying Yaloha to do a promo of them. We're just going out and doing it.
Right.
So what the fuck is this company? Where are they making money, and why am I getting paid so little to do everything, apparently?
Well, because you're not demanding enough pay.
Yeah, which now I'm like, well, I'm gonna demand more pay because now I know that all they do, like I thought it was just a side thing, like they just wanted little bonus videos, but no, that seems to be all they are. So what the fuck?
Yeah.
They must have been like, especially because my videos I've been making for them are so much better than all of the other videos that they've been having.
Right.
So they really fucking scored when they hired me.
Right.
Like they're getting nice videos for like $25 a video.
I would definitely be like, hey guys, well, first of all, you're an idiot and haven't been asking them to pay you for the driving time.
Yeah, well, I mean,
like
now,
common sense.
Well, it wasn't a problem with the first couple videos I did,
right.
Whereas now it's like it's taking a lot more time.
And second of all, I'd be like, hey, I just make it out like, guys, this takes time out of my busy schedule. I need to be paid.
The
more.
problem is that it doesn't, but I can't make the. It's really like a matter of respect, where it's like, video is an art form. Yes, it's easy for me to do, but like,
right.
It's still just like a fucking courtesy to pay someone what they're worth,
Right.
Especially if I'm making much better videos than what they were having, like I deserve more money.
Right. Dude, I believe I believe in this mentality so strongly ever since me and Jesse Wood talked about it because of the wrestler CM Punk, right? Mind you, I have not followed wrestling much. I only know most of the wrestling stuff through Jesse Wood and the shit he's linked me. But the wrestler CM Punk is famous for the fact that he was on top for like a long time. He was like a champion, but he never really got the level of promotion and like respect he deserved from the company, and like or that he felt he deserved anyway. And you know, he never really got promoted the way like John Cena did and stuff. And he was really like upset about it, and he got like all these injuries and stuff, and the company just kind of treated him like shit, and they literally fired him on his wedding day.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, after like a week after
assholes.
he had been assured that he was gonna have like all this shit. He had to sue them over various stuff. Basically, he had a nightmare experience with the WWE, right? And he blames it all
I wanted him to jump off the edge.
on Vince McMahon, basically. So he did this huge tell-all interview with this popular wrestling podcast where he like basically exposed everything that was going on, told the story in like as much depth as possible. And there's one part in there that me and Jesse took as like the greatest fucking line ever. And he says, you know, people sometimes say, oh, you know, you're whining and crying and all this, but, you know, didn't you make like $1 million? Aren't you like a millionaire? And he's like, yeah, well, you know, I should have made 10.
Yes.
And I'm just like,
exactly.
Awesome. Like, yeah, he was, you know, for what the job was, the most, he saw himself at least as the most talented guy in the company, you know, and other guys were making more money than him, and he wasn't getting treated the way that he felt he should as someone who's selling all these tickets, someone who has this unique talent, you know, and it's like...
Exactly, and it's like, for what I'm doing, it's like, well, when you're paying for a video to be done, you're not just paying for fucking man hours, you're paying for talent, and you're paying for, like, the equipment that I have that's nice.
The classic story of the graphic designer, where he scrawls something on a napkin and says, that'll be $10,000, and the guy's like, but it took you 10 minutes to do, and he's like, yeah, but I spent 10 years studying how to do it.
Exactly.
You know?
Shit, this shield sucks.
And I mean, that's entirely how I justify what I make.
Yes.
Because, like, I make...
It comes to you naturally, but you
Right.
still need to make a living off of it.
It's
and it's not something that just anyone can fucking do.
Right, it's kind of funny, too, because, like, people watch... I did a video the other day where I recorded my entire editing process, and... It's funny because people are like, man, this looks really tedious. Man, mad respect for the amount of work that goes in. And I'm like, this video's only 3 hours long, and most of it is not me working. Like, most of it's me, like, watching YouTube videos or talking to people on Skype or, like, waiting for downloads. A lot of waiting for downloads, waiting for renders, you know, like... And it was funny to me because it's like, to me, it looked like... I made this video and I'm like, man, this is going to expose how little work I do. But then people were like, oh man, so much work goes into this. And I'm like... That
means they just really don't appreciate how much work goes into the bigger ones. Like,
right.
They really have no idea just how much work there really is in better stuff.
One guy was like... Because I edited all the breaths out, right? And one guy was like, I can't even... He said, I'm going to go back and listen to the Sword Art Online video and see if you removed all the breaths in that, too. And I was like, well, yeah, I do it for all my videos. And he was like, I just can't picture doing that for 2 straight hours of video. And I'm like, it's why I'm a fucking professional. That's what you do. Exactly. Like, I expect that much from everyone.
Should I go to the painted world?
To me, when I listen to a YouTube video and someone doesn't edit out their breaths, I'm like, you fucking noob, you fucking piece of shit. You could at least try. God, you know, like...
Just a basic standard of quality and effort.
But it's just funny because, like, to me, I did so little work, but at the same time, when you look at it, the deftness with which I choose things is like, man, you really got to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, like, when you watch it, I'm just constantly clicking through, finding clips instantly, you know, like, knowing where everything is in the episode that I want to use, knowing... I just, like, before I even started working on it, in my head, the video was basically fully formed, you know?
Yes.
Or just being able to quickly make decisions about what filler stuff I'm going to use. Where, like, I even say at the beginning of the video, I'm like, you know, I usually start off by just putting the very beginning of the episode for, like, a full minute, because why not? It works, you know? It's like... Not everyone would think to do that necessarily, you know?
Yeah, it's always stuff you forget to give yourself credit for.
Right.
Especially with my videos, it's like, it's so second nature and so easy for me to just go out and do this shit that it's like, I don't give myself credit for how much thought I'm actually putting into it.
Right.
Because I do it so fast.
It's knowing the system, knowing your formulas,
Exactly.
knowing what you're doing.
Knowing how I'm going to edit it. But then it's like, you know, your average guy can't do that. Like, I've seen people try, and they just fail miserably.
I've talked I think before about how it's really, really hard for me to give people advice on writing, because that is the thing that comes the most naturally to me. Where that's, for a lot of people, that's the hardest part of video
making.
where'd
this guy come from?
Because
I forgot there was a second one down there. Shit.
With editing and with audio, you can kind of apply clear rules to it, where it's like, you know, I'm going to make an intro and it's going to look like this. You know, this is how the timing of shots should be. This is how the timing of audio should be. And you can kind of apply an easy standard to it.
Yeah.
But writing is way more like, you know, even on a conceptual level, you got to know, like, what kind of writer am I? What kind of post do I want to write? You know, what does this show say? How can I get a good synthesis between my writing and visuals and all that good stuff? And, like, writing's by far the hardest part for most people. But for me, it's the easiest because I think in blog posts, you know, like, when I watch anime, I am already thinking about the blog post I'm going to make about it a lot of the time, you know, like, if I have something to say, where, or it'll be 5 minutes later, you know. I think, man, the visuals in that really made the pacing feel awkward, and then I just kind of, like, sit around thinking about it, like, and then, usually, when I write my videos, the first sentence is, like, when I come up with an idea...
Very articulated. Like, you gotta spend time on the first sentence.
Well, no. That's not what I mean. I mean, when I start thinking of the concept of the post, I just write the first sentence in my head.
I see.
So, like, I might be thinking, okay, well, the visual language was weird, so what's the concept of this post? Well, anime critics have a tendency to equate pacing with, you know... And then, like, from there, I just, it just all comes out like stream of consciousness, you know? I write in one sitting, one fell swoop, and I have people, you know, who are writers and stuff, like, asking, oh, do you make, like, a syllabus or something? Do you make a thing? And I'm like, no, it's all natural. But, like, but it's so hard to tell people, like, well, just write for 10 years.
Exactly.
You know, because no one wants to hear that.
Shit.
Like,
I hate these fucking
How do
things.
you tell someone you're gonna be shit for the next 10 years?
I just fucked up a giant fucking knight and a gargoyle, no problem, and then this thing just trashes me. Fuck those things.
I mean...
Probably had a lot of souls, too.
And when I say stuff like that, like, I think it's also important to just like your... Like, because it's not like as a kid I thought all my shit was complete garbage.
Yeah.
I was always proud of whatever the last big thing I wrote was, you know. Usually, I was, like, when I first wrote my FLCL analysis in 2009, which I consider to be the oldest thing I've written that's still readable, I don't think it's good, and I'd like to redo it, but I'd say it's still competently done. And, like, for years, I was really proud of that. It's like, this is the best thing I've ever written. This is so good. Like, this is monumentally great. And then it's only after I've gotten better as a writer that I can look back on it and go, okay, this is really badly written. You know, like, this has all these issues and flaws and things I would like to correct. But, like, you know, it's hard for me to, when someone's like, oh, can you critique my writing in something they're proud of? And I'm like, well, it reads like you've never written before, you know? And, like, that's not, like, I don't want that to be discouraging for people, but it's hard not to be. It's like, the fact that you like it means that you should keep writing, you know? I don't know. And I also don't hold my own stuff in as high regard as I think some people do. Where there's some stuff I've written that I'm really, really proud of, but I always see the flaws in it, you know?
Yes.
Like, I don't know. If I went through my Psychopaths video, I'm sure there'd be a bunch of sentences I'm not happy with.
No. With these event videos I'm doing now, it's like, I'm proud of myself for about an hour after I make it, and then I go like, is this really the best I can do? I need to keep making these better. And it's so like, there's these lame events, and I just have a camera and a tripod. It's like, there's only so much I can do to make this flashy and impressive.
Right.
But I'm like, as long as I'm doing this, they're never gonna be, like, anything special.
Well, like, the best thing, I think, for both of us...
Oh, what the fuck? I didn't even know I could walk off that.
I did. How did you not know
I've
that?
never walked off the end. I thought it was, like,
you
gated.
can get knocked off that.
I've never fell off that part ever playing this game.
Well, lucky you. what I was gonna say, I think both me and you are very easily motivated by seeing other people be worse. That's like the number one thing.
I mean, it's reassuring. I wouldn't say it's motivated as much as it is like,
I think
okay, I'm doing all right at what I'm doing because like
it helps to
I'm
get
not
you through the
incompetent.
day.
Yeah.
You know, like when you make something, because sometimes you look at people who are better than you.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I can't believe I'm so shitty. I can't believe I'm not as good as this guy. But then you look at like everyone else who's like, who's anywhere comparable to you but much worse, like people who are on your level but like, you know, your
Not
peers
quite there.
basically, people who are your peers in terms of age and like, and status, but who are garbage in talent, you know.
Yeah.
And
or they just haven't had the experience, and you know,
right.
They just
like it's easy for me to feel good about myself because there's not a lot of competition in anime
makes
analysis.
you feel good where it's like,
you know?
at least I still have a lot to go, but at least I'm somewhere. Like,
Right.
I haven't just been wasting my time and learning nothing.
I honestly, sometimes I feel like I'm an asshole when I think about anime YouTubers because I honestly think I'm so much better than everyone else.
Yes.
Like,
hey man, I've lately been living by the line from the intro track on Rat King's album, where he says,
"Oh yeah, if you're not right now, it's like in the NFL. It's all about athletes and athletics. If you ain't healthy, if you ain't trying to be, or if you think you're the best motherfucker, you should always be saying you're the best.
Yes. If you think you're the best, you should always be saying you're the best.
If you ain't healthy, get on the motherfucking sidelines."
So I'm like, you know, I'm not here to just fuck around. I am trying to be really good at this, and so I might as well like.
Dude, I want to be the very best, like no one ever was.
Exactly.
You know.
So there's certain times where I do ego, just for the sake of like, convincing myself that I'm good.
Right.
And making sure other people know that I think I'm good.
Ego is important, man.
Fuck! I tried to kick that guy, and my foot went right just beside him, and he shot me.
I think people who don't have enough ego are hamstring themselves, because if you don't think you can be amazing, then you're not gonna try to be amazing.
I mean, it depends, because
you know?
some people can be very humble and confident and just be good, whereas other
well,
people
like,
sort of cut themselves down too much.
Right. Well, I see, like, for instance, my friend Tommy Oliver, like, he definitely knows who he's better than, and I think that gives him a lot of the confidence that he does have, but, like, he also doesn't seem to, like, believe in his ability to get better, you know? He's always like, oh, man, I'm not that good. But then, like, you know, he'll see other people and be like, well, at least I'm better than them, you know. But you have to be looking at people who are better than you and be like, I can be better than that.
Exactly.
You know, I could beat that guy.
I gotta keep going.
Like, all of my goals in terms of people are really high. You know, it's like my life, like, my goal in, like, as a person, as a human being, and this is not really a goal I can necessarily work towards, but it's one that I hope will eventualize through persistent work, is I want to be as cool as Ghost Lightning by the time I'm 32. As cool as he was when I met him, as I should say.
Yeah.
Ghost Lightning being my good friend and mentor, who
this is one of the worst places to die at, and you have to run so far back.
Right.
Shit.
Just because Ghost Lightning was like just this really intellectual, interesting guy who had done so much interesting stuff. And he was raising a family, you know, he's a family man, and, like, just, when I met him, it was like, he felt like everything I hoped I could be one day. You know, like, someone who's really respectable, who has, like, a moral...
my fucking God.
Who's a moral person without being on a high ground, who knows how to be highfalutin intellectual, but also be totally populist and, you know, down and dirty and stuff, you know? Just very well-balanced individual.
Back like that when I do this part. I've run through this so many times in my life. I'm never shot in the back by those fucking dudes.
And so I hope that I can one day be like him. And I'm always motivated by thinking about the stuff he told me about his younger self, because he was always saying how, like, in his early 20s, he was just this really angry party guy who was never honest with himself and stuff like that. And he, like, really had to come around as a person. How come you had 15,000 souls?
Because I picked him up from because I killed the gargoyle and the big dude. 2 gargoyles. I did a lot.
But yeah, like he talks about how like it was so hard for him to like learn to be authentic with himself, and like I'm sitting here thinking like whenever I'm worried about like am I a good enough person right now? Am I failing as a human? It's like, well, I'm only 23. Ghost Lightning wasn't a cool guy until his late 20s, so
there are so many people fucking up so much worse.
Right, I'm still on the right track. I'm doing okay. I've got time to become a badass, you know.
Yeah. You don't have to hold yourself to such a fucking high standard.
Right.
Which I wish I fucking knew half of my life. Where it's like growing up, I held myself to way too high of a standard, and I could have had a lot more fun and enjoyed myself and not been fucking depressed all the time if I didn't.
I think like the biggest problem I have with myself is how self-centered I am.
Yes.
Where it's like it's really, really difficult for me to give a fuck about other people.
Yes.
You know, and I mean that in like the broad sense, like people like give a fuck about the world and stuff.
Yes.
You know, like it's hard for me to care about world events or the environment or other people and stuff. And I wish I did, but like I feel like you kind of have like people always say, you know, you can't care for others if you don't care for yourself. You know, that kind of thing. And it's like I'm so worried about getting myself into like a really comfortable position, and then like I feel like once I'm there, I can turn my head to other places. You know,
a lot of the most charitable people are always like rich people because they're so secure that they can afford to take care of other people.
Right.
But it's like I'm sure if you were totally secure and just had an abundance of money, and then you start looking around at the world, and you're like, all right, well maybe I can use some of this to help.
I don't necessarily mean in a money way. I just mean in a giving a fuck way. You know, in a doing something about it way. Like. I really, really have a hard time, like, getting emotionally invested in anyone else other than myself when I'm so concerned about myself. You know, like, I'm so worried about what am I doing? Is my career going okay? Am I... And it's every day. It's all I think about is, you know, what I'm doing. I don't have any other cause other than me, you know?
Yes. I'm
not a guy who stands for a lot of things other than myself. I have moral ideas. There's sort of
finally
things I believe in, but not really anything I do other than look out for myself at this point, you know. Yeah. And I think that's a problem, but it's one that I could eventually rectify. And that conversation is ending just at the right time because you're about to reach the bonfire.
Swiggity sway. Who's feeling gay today?
I am.
I'm
all about that dick. No boobies. Next time on Digi Bros.
Yeah.